What's up, Paracrews? I'm Paradomics and welcome to a slightly different video. Now, this is a different kind of video than what I'm used to, and you guys may not be aware, but I'm not afraid to speak my mind on certain topics. Especially topics that I know that I'm alright to talk about. And this one is no different from the others. If you guys have not known yet, my friend Sed, popularly known as Cetro Gaming, who I have the honor of playing with and being his friend, has made a post about his ex-girlfriend known as MacStar. He made this post not so long ago talking about their relationship and how it all went down. Now, he didn't do this to get her attention, nor doing this out of spite. He only did this because MacStar, his ex, decided to dox him to another person and said some horrible things about him to others privately. Now, I will be reading his entire post and it will be long, so if you don't want to listen to that and if you want to hear the TLDR version, please skip to this time of the video. Or if you want to read a post for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you guys can form your own opinions. To those who are going to skip to the TLDR version, I won't stop you, but I would, however, suggest that you watch this segment as I will be giving my opinions during the reading. Also, to know more how bad and unfairly MacStar has been treating Sed. So anyways, here it is. This week has been very stressful lately. I've been doing so much art and met a lot of sweet people that have been supporting my art journey in this community. So, same to you followers. But the sad thing is, I have been getting emotionally destroyed in the past 2 days. I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't draw yesterday. And I couldn't stop crying about something that happened recently and what happened last October. The thing that happened last October was that someone I knew for 7 years left me. Also known as MacStar. I met someone, and she was a wonderful person. Someone who needed company and love. She was shy to talk in front of a microphone, and was only comfortable with texting. I helped her get out of her shyness by sending voice messages. She was starting to feel less shy and started sending some voice messages back. Eventually, we started calling. We got closer after a few calls and ended up being together. She told me about her horrible past and I felt so bad for her, and I was the only person she trusted at that time. So all I wanted to do was help her feel happy and safe and not feel like she's in a toxic place anymore. So you can tell by reading Sed's post that he clearly deeply cares for MacStar and even helped her from her timidness from speaking in a microphone. Which, if you all don't know, MacStar is a voice actress now. A not safe for work voice actress. I'll put that out there. So yeah, for someone who helped her have some confidence talking in a microphone shows how much Sed inspired MacStar to speak. We felt very comfortable with each other and started watching movies, shows, and read comics together. We kept doing voices while reading them. I talked about how much I always wanted to be a voice actor. She found it so much fun doing voices. And we made a YouTube channel together in 2015 called The Cutie Mics, but that has been discontinued, so yeah, rip Cutie Mics. We uploaded MLP comic dubs and it was just for fun. Later, we decided to spread by joining other projects and hoping our channel would grow. She ended up being in some projects and then she voiced in Not Safe for Work fanfiction. Again, just to remind you guys, she is a 18 plus voice actress to this day. So yeah, that's not really relevant. But I kind of find it pretty ironic how you started out shy from a microphone to straight up doing Not Safe for Work voice acting. Not that I'm saying Not Safe for Work is a bad thing. Clearly that's a profession and it doesn't reflect the content creator's personality and likeness. At that time, I wasn't very comfortable with her voicing in that kind of content because it made me feel very paranoid. I was thinking that the content creator would end up falling for her and the comment would talk dirty about her, and I thought people would start to stalk her. I asked her to please not voice in that content for those reasons. And those are very reasonable reasons. I don't have a girlfriend, but clearly I obviously don't like it when people start saying suggestive stuff to her, flirting with her because of her profession, and especially when your profession is to sound sexual in a microphone, which some people would find very attractive. So I understand what Sed is going for here, but I don't blame MacStar for feeling a bit upset at this part. For someone who you care about doesn't like what you're doing and tells you to stop doing it does kind of sound a bit selfish, in my opinion. But again, Sed was only looking out for MacStar, so it's understandable. She did do a Rainbow Dash Not Safe for Work series, and that's when she stopped. A few years passed and we started live streaming on Ponytown, made 2 animatics and a weird Skype call series. Her birthday was getting close, so I started drawing a Borderlands picture. At that time, she loved Claptrap and playing Necromancer. While I was drawing that out, I was notified that my favorite YouTuber was hosting a live stream. I joined in and she was very happy to see so many people. We'll call her Jane. Okay, so Jane here kind of plays a very big role-ish into this story, and you'll see soon why. So Jane asked what everyone was up, and I said I was drawing a birthday present for my girlfriend, and Jane thought it was sweet and wanted to see a work in progress. I showed her in DMs and she loved how it looked and asked if she could give her a birthday audio. I said yes, I thought it was very sweet. So I told my girlfriend, we'll call her Mac. I already spoiled the name, so we already know who she is already, but in case you haven't, it's MacStar. And also, I find out quite recently that MacStar doesn't want to be called Mac because apparently only her late mother would address her that, and it reminds her of her own mother. So out of respect of MacStar's mother, I will only address her as MacStar. You're welcome, Maxter. That I have gifts for her and a drawing and an audio from a YouTuber. She was excited to know who the YouTuber was. I told her it was Jane. Mac felt a little disappointed and said, "So, you got yourself a birthday present." I don't see the logic there, but okay. I felt a little hurt hearing that. It was just something nice that Jane wanted to do for Mac's birthday. Turns out, she didn't like Jane. Yeah, after a little disappointment, I'm guessing that's definitely the case. She never gave me a reason why she didn't like her. All she said was, she's just an overrated voice actress. But I told Mac that this was something she wanted to do for her. She accepted it, and during the process of me writing a script, me and Jane actually became friends, and she was really nice. It felt like an old friend I haven't spoken to in years came back and wanted to catch up. So when the day came, Mac got her gift and she loved the drawing and then heard the audio. She actually liked it and thought it was nice. Wow, what a sudden change of heart. I wonder what changed her mind. Maybe next time you shouldn't judge a gift by its cover or who it's from. The sad thing is though, after meeting Jane, things started to get toxic. It was time for me to get my baby steps out of the adulthood out of the way. So I took some driving classes and told Mac I was going to get my license. She was very happy that I was doing something to start being an adult. While I was taking courses, she asked if I was getting them done and I said yes. When I had to go to the DMV, I wasted my time because I was missing one thing, so I didn't get my permit. I told Mac that I was missing something and she was really mad at me and told me that I need to take this seriously. You just missed one thing, MacStar. Why'd you gotta pressure him to get a car? Calm down. A few days passed and I got all my stuff and was on my way to the DMV again. And the weird part is, it closed down. And there was another one very far away from my home, but it was no longer early in the morning, so I had to wait till next time to get there early. I told Mac the place shut down, and that's when she started screaming at me and that I'm taking too long to get this done, and decided that she wanted a break from me. What the hell? MacStar, calm the hell down! You make it sound like he won't be getting a car forever. I felt so guilty because I got her mad. Then one of my friends came to me and said Mac ranted about me. She told my friend that Mac was mad at me for not being out of my parents' house and not moving into a new home already, and saying I'm taking too long. You're not a very patient girlfriend, are you, MacStar? If you had a problem with said, then why not discuss it with him? Or better yet, don't be a brat about his mistakes and talking to other people behind his back. My friend told her that she shouldn't rush me and that she was being too harsh. I didn't know what to think, really, but I blamed myself because I thought I was being a horrible boyfriend. I did eventually get my permit and my license after my last driving class. Mac came back and I showed her that I finished my classes, and she was very proud of me. Next year comes that I started spending time with Jane. She saw me improve on art and wanted to start commissioning me to make thumbnails and a cute little image for her videos. I was so happy that I started to make some money. Mac was happy to hear that I was making money, but she didn't like I was drawing for Jane. Wow, she really has it out for Jane, huh? She started making an assumption that Jay had feelings for me and said Jane is out to get her and ruin her reputation. No comment. Just no comment. started to feel like I had to pick a side, but I didn't want to. Jane was just a friend that wanted to help me grow as an artist slash YouTuber. She even supported me and Mac's relationship. I told Mac about that and she said that it's just an act that she's pulling. This is when I started to notice that she was trying to make me cut ties with a friend who did nothing wrong. It started to hurt me so much that I didn't know what to do. I then started to look for a job to get more money, and I managed to get a job at a fast food place. The management was horrible, the customers were rude, but the payment wasn't bad. When October came, Jane wanted to do a VR chat live stream. I thought it would be nice to be the one streaming it through me and MacStar's channel. I invited MacStar, hopefully they can be friends. The stream didn't go so well. MacStar was nice by saying hi to Jane, and Jane was so finally happy to meet MacStar. It was okay at first. Me and Jay were only waiting for our friend Dawn. Dawn joins and was happy to see all of us. Eventually, Jane's fan came in the game and started circling around us, mostly Dawn. MacStar just walked away from everyone, and I went up to her and asked if she was okay. I was getting worried. She said she didn't want to say it on stream. Then I said we can go up to the others together and have fun. Then she said, I don't care about Dawn. Jane heard that but didn't want to butt in. So from what I'm reading so far, it seems like the attention was going towards this Dawn guy, and MacStar just immediately disliked people who get more attention than her. But that's just my opinion. So I stayed with MacStar for a while in the stream while everyone was just circling around Jane and Dawn. Mac ended up leaving and didn't really say much at all. So I dropped the stream immediately. Called her to hope she was okay. She was mad at me and told me that I just let Jane steal our spotlight on our channel and thinks I'm just allowing her to hurt MacStar. But all this time, Jane was supporting us and wanted us to be together. I always told Jane how much I love MacStar and that I would always try to make her feel happy. I told Jane what happened after the stream, and she noticed that MacStar doesn't like her and she wanted to know why. She felt hurt finding out about it. But MacStar never really gave me a reason why she didn't like Jane, so I said I didn't know. I know, it's just a theory, but I wager that MacStar disliked people who gets all the attention when it's supposedly to be on her only, since it's her channel. But what did she expect when it comes to someone who's more popular than you? And you feature them in a video, so you should expect a lot of people to talk about them over you. I should know that, because I'm used to it. It wasn't a good night to remember. And December comes and I managed to have more than enough money to plan a Christmas vacation with Mac. She was excited for that, and we finally met in real life. Seeing her at the airport was the moment to remember. She dropped her bag and ran to me for a hug. I wanted to cry so badly, and she told me only a little. We stayed in a hotel room after going to places like restaurants, arcades, the movies, and my home. But through the trip, she was being more of a friend than a girlfriend. She didn't want kisses, she didn't want much hugs. She was on her tablet playing an RPG game while we watched TV. At times, she would be texting. After our Christmas vacation, I gave her one big goodbye hug, hoping we could see each other again. After working in a fast food restaurant a bit more, I ended up quitting. I couldn't take any more of the toxic environment. Throughout the rest of the years, MacStar wasn't being the same anymore. She was being more of a friend instead of a girlfriend. We were still watching movies and shows, but not much really happened in our relationship. But I still wanted to try the best for her. She wanted to do a song cover for Old Time Road sung by Applejack for her YouTube channel. I thought it was an amazing idea, and she asked me if I can make the thumbnail. So I made it. It was so much fun. She really loved it and was going to start singing it later. But when she checked YouTube, she noticed that Jane already did it. Now, this was a strange coincidence. It was really surprising for both of us, but MacStar immediately started screaming at me and assumed I told Jane about the cover and that I kept taking Jane's side. She's telling me she was trying to steal me away from MacStar. How delusional do you have to be to think that? The idea of Applejack singing Old Town Road is, no offense, not very, a 5-star great idea that only one person in the entire world can come up with. AJ has an accent. Old Town Road is about cowboys. It doesn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together to come up with that idea. And also, so what if Jane did it? doesn't mean you can't do it. No idea is original since every day new things keep popping up and it's so difficult to make something new and original anymore. I never mentioned the song cover to Jane at all, and she then wanted to be left alone. I told Jane what happened and she felt so horrible about it and said she would delete the video if it would help. I found that unfair because Jane worked really hard on that song cover and I didn't want her to delete it. Later on, MacStar started to ghost me a little, and I asked what's wrong. She then told me that she's mad at me because I'm still friends with Jane, saying that I never picked her side and that I keep allowing her to destroy our relationship. That right there was just hard to hear. She left me alone for a while and eventually did come back and wanted to catch up and hoping I was okay. I was hoping she was okay too. She told me she was playing PS4 online and someone of her friends was hitting on her and she tells him I have a boyfriend. And she told me I should be thankful. I asked why and she said, I called you my boyfriend. I mean, at that time, he was your boyfriend, right? So what should he be thankful for? Because you told a person you have a boyfriend? That's like a normal way to react when somebody who's flirting on you doesn't know you're in a relationship. Don't brag about your loyalty, especially not like that. That alone really hurt. And throughout this entire relationship, she always told others that I was just a friend. Like she was embarrassed all this time. I always loved her and was never embarrassed. Of being with her. She started ghosting me a little more, and I started to get really worried. She then asked me if we could play PS4. She asked if she can invite a friend. I said sure, and as soon as he came in, she changed her voice and sounded really happy to see him. At that point, I was a third wheel. She kept talking to him, and I felt like I wasn't even in the game anymore. I left and felt very sad. Her friend wasn't mean. He was nice, funny, and very chill. Later on, she came to me and said she just wants to be friends. She then later tells me that she was dating him, and it turns out she was already with him. Well, she a hoe. She literally broke up with said after dating this person behind his back, and to make matters worse, she already fell in love with him. And she was already with him. I can't with this person anymore. The more I read, the more I'm mad at her. So fucking awful. Knowing that really hurt a lot. She wanted to stick with a friendship. It didn't last long. No surprise. I wanted to plan another Christmas trip as friends and she was trying to shame me for even thinking about her. And then tells me that I have a real life friend that I should be with instead. MacStar! You are his real life friend! You literally said it yourself after you broke up with him. Oh, no, wait. Take it back. After you cheated on him behind his back and then broke up with him. She said if she was my friend, she would be mad that I would be thinking of my ex. I wasn't trying to pull any moves or anything. I just wanted to plan another trip and have fun. But she tells me that I'm such a horrible person for asking her about it. A horrible person. Planning a trip with your ex does not mean they're a horrible person. It means that they were thinking about you as a friend and you should be grateful for the fact that said wanted to bring you with him. What the hell's wrong with this person, man? Well, so far I'm reading, I shouldn't be surprised if it's bad. But at this point, I shouldn't be surprised of what kind of person she is, man. It made me realize that she didn't care that we broke up. She was being flirty behind my back and was waiting for the time to just cut ties with me. Like those 7 years didn't matter at all. I sent her a really long goodbye message, and it, in short, was me opening up to her for the very first time, and sadly the only time on how I really felt on what she's become. Saying that whenever I did something, she would get very mad, and that she clearly doesn't care about me anymore. I admitted that I still do care about her, and I am happy to at least know she'll be okay. Then, she blocked me in every social media. I actually regret sending that message. I don't know. I just feel guilty afterward. Here's the thing, after all the years of being with her, Mac opened up to me about my flaws, a lot, and that she would tell me on what I should improve on. I never did it back to her because I was scared if she would ever gotten mad. At that point, you really should have said something back there. Not in a bad way, but in a way that you also want her to be a better person and improve on the flaws, because clearly she has a lot of them. I mean, I guess you can say my only time I ever opened up was when I told her how I felt about her voicing not safe for work at the time. Now look, I know I made promises I couldn't keep and that I kept her waiting while I was trying to earn money and moved on to an apartment. But I helped her feel confident with herself and made sure she was okay after having nightmares and feeling hurt from neighbors and got into voice acting. I felt so emotionally destroyed after this whole thing happened, and I had 3 friends that were helping me feel better from this. I feel like a fool not hearing the warnings of my friends were giving me when they saw MacStar getting worse over time. I stayed because I wanted to give her all the care I could give, and then she does that. I was spending time with a wonderful artist friend named SB99, a very sweet individual who makes really good not safe for work art. Him and other 2 friends helped me cheer up, and seeing his work did grow on me, and I thought it was amazing. We kept sharing art, and then I finally made a decision to join a not safe for work community because his work inspired me. I just do what he does, pin up arts of characters from shows and games. Before I did that, I asked Jane if it was a good idea, and she told me I should go for it. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's Jane's business with what you do with your life as long as you're passionate about it. Then I made Said21, a name inspired by SB99. He helped me gain followers and supported my cartoon work. It felt very nice. I followed so many artists and eventually I didn't mind not safe for work at all. Voice acting, art, even stories. I then met a VA who was really nice and we became friends. He introduced me in other VAs in the community, and then I saw her, MacStar, was in the community, and it got me scared. And it scared me that she knew all the other voice actors, and it made me feel so scared to follow anyone. So I told my friend that I've been feeling scared of this community. I told him that I was with someone and what she's done to me. He was helping me cheer up and telling me that I shouldn't worry about it too much. He asked who it was and I was scared to even say her name. I did end up telling him, and he was shocked because he follows her. I told him not to unfollow her because of me and thought that it was my fault. But he told me it wasn't my fault. I told him that he shouldn't abandon MacStar. He didn't. She became a successful voice actress in his community. She lives a better life. That's what I always wanted for her, to live well. I've been drawing characters and open logo commissions for other content creators. I met so many sweet people here and that I would like to call family. I love them all very, very much, and they have helped me feel better from my major depression. I have so many emotional breakdowns, couldn't sleep well, and couldn't stop thinking about what MacStar has done. But it was nice to just be myself and spending time with my new friends and just making money by doing something I love. Recently, I got into another emotional breakdown. So it turns out MacStar sends message to one of my close voice actor friends, and MacStar said my real name and telling my friends that she was shocked seeing me watching my friend's stream. I was watching my friend's stream a game and I was in the chat. MacStar came in and saw me in the chat and left. Then she sent my friend that message on Twitter, and my friend decided to ignore it because she read it and it made her uncomfortable. She copied it and noticed that MacStar immediately deleted it right after. She sent the message on Discord and it really opened my eyes, seeing that she doxed me and is trying to tell everyone that I was a horrible person for not letting her voice not safe for work, and then saying she gets negative flashbacks. That's a lie, because I wanted her to live well and I never cussed at her or even got mad at her. When she got mad at me, I would blame myself because I thought I did something wrong. What she did was just too far. Doxing me really made me feel much worse, and my friends on Discord have been helping me cheer up for the past 2 days. This is why I haven't been well recently. She's already become a success. There's no point trying to hurt me while I'm trying to live my own life. To everyone who's seen me break down, I'm sorry for that. I love you all so much, and I hope this doesn't get worse. Much love from me, said. And right here shows MacStar's message from Twitter, and it was sent from Discord, which is why it's not a screenshot message. And this, by the way, is not fake because MacStar herself confirmed that she did message this individual, Said's real name. So the screenshot shown here is not fake. But let's read what lil ol' MacStar had to say. To be honest, seeing Said stream gave me PTSD. Oof. I don't think saying oof is how you react after having a PTSD. Also, I love how MacStar said his real name, and then right after that, she put Said's internet name in a parenthesis. Anyways, let's continue. My boyfriend isn't home right now, so sorry, but that stressed me out.
Said is my in real life ex-boyfriend. He kept me back from doing not safe for work because it made him uncomfortable. So seeing him being so comfortable within the community I'm in made me hella uncomfortable. If he wasn't comfortable with the thing that you liked before, but is now okay with it, then how does that make you uncomfortable? He is now okay with the thing that you like. In fact, this isn't a bad thing for you. On the contrary, you two now have something in common. It may be petty, but I feel super anxious right now. Not sure who I DM'd this about. Yeah, maybe not the person who's friends with Said. TLDR, she's a horrible person who keeps pressuring and rushing Said to get a driver's license, says racial slurs, which she now apologized, emphasis on the word now of all times. Cheated on Said, an envious minx, and she doxed Said by exposing his real name to someone else. And furthermore, she doesn't care about Said's feelings, because Said was in a one-sided relationship where he wanted to make her happy, but I guess she just didn't care about Said. She was really nice when they started out and grew up to be a horrible person. So in my opinion, after reading that entire page, I don't like her. Like at all. She's clearly a horrible person before and she still is today. In fact, I've seen tweets where she's concerned about people unfollowing her and blocking her.
Oh my god, what is happening? Why are all the peoples unfollowing me? Is this a bug?
Who the hell tweets about people unfollowing them for no reason? Clearly her.
Para, you're Said's friend. So the fact that you believe his story makes you completely biased in the whole situation. It's innocent till proven guilty.
Okay, fine. I'll bite. Let's say I don't believe 100% of what Said's saying in this story, and that it could be over-exaggerated and purposefully told that way to make MacStar look bad. So let's see what MacStar has to say in her side of the story. It has come to my attention that someone who used to be very special to me is trying to slander me. We were friends for over 7 years. I can't believe I even have to make this post. Yeah, well, maybe do not dox him, and that would been a better option, in my opinion. I had such private conversations that I refused to share with anyone, but just wanted to say, if anyone chooses to believe the post that Said made, okay, she didn't finish that, but whatever. That's up to you. And I had a very long and complicated relationship. Yeah, it was pretty complicated, but can you elaborate on a few things that Said wrote in his post though? Some of the things he said are lies, some of them are true. He was my best friend for years. I gossiped with him and vented about every single one of my problems. I've been living alone for several years, so that's what you do with your best friend. Oh, so only the positive things that he said in his post are true. But what about the part that you yelled at him for not getting his driver's license fast enough, talking shit behind his back, cheating on him, and then breaking up with him? Care to explain those claims? MacStar? There were many times where I was also able to offer him advice. I was even able to visit him at one time and we both had a wonderful time. Another person who Cedris delicately left out in the situation entirely drew a wedge between the two of us. Okay, that's cool, but what about the things he said about you flirting with someone behind his back? Can you tell me about that? This is very painful for me to relive. At no point did I want to have to bring up any of these things. I was very worried when he decided to join the community that I was trying to build my business on. This is my livelihood, but I decided not to make any sort of call-out posts because you have nothing to call him out for. Yeah, maybe that time where he said you shouldn't be doing not safe for work content, but he clearly changed for that. Not to mention, he only did that because he cared about you. There was no reason for it. This community was supposed to be welcoming for all, and despite any personal instances he and I have experienced, that is no one else's business. Now I'm forced to shed light on part of my story. If anyone has any questions, please ask me. Doxing Said's name and telling people that you're not comfortable with him being in the community doesn't sound welcoming at all. If you and Said had no bad blood with each other, then why do you need to panic when you see him? You ignored him and he's ignoring you. Just ignore each other. But I guess that's easy for me to say. Again, this is my livelihood. I'm trying to build a business and be on a community here on Twitter. I cannot have my dignity be slandered in this way without addressing it. I appreciate anyone reading this. Wow. That literally didn't answer any of the claims that was being made. She didn't even address the cheating part, the yelling to get the driver's license. None! In fact, nothing she said really helped her in her case. This is a very poor response, and don't worry, we're not done yet because she has a lot more to say. There was a tweet about this will be my last post about this, but she deleted it. I wonder why. But hold on, guys. Apparently, she finally decided to acknowledge the one thing that Said talked about, and it's about where she just blurted out his real name like a professional. The way I word things is still a work in progress. I was wrong to type out my ex's name in a forum. Others knew him by an alias. I hope people can see I made a mistake and will not be involving my personal feelings in my business further. I will work on being more professional. Wow. She did not even say I'm sorry. And also, saying that I was wrong to type out my ex's name in a forum is not the same as saying I'm sorry Said. Because here, you're clearly just acknowledging your mistake. That's it. You admit that you're wrong, but you did not apologize directly to the person you've wronged. Even someone out here replied, using his real name is a huge no-no. That's rule 1 out here. I may not know much what this drama is, but leaking someone's actual name is fucking dangerous. I understand and I'm apologizing for my action in using his first name when addressing someone who didn't know it prior. No, you didn't. I mean, yeah, you're sorry for what you did, but you did not say sorry to Said. That tweet didn't even have Said's name in it. In fact, you just addressed him as an ex, like nobody knows who she's talking about. No, even if they did or didn't, you shouldn't use people's real name. Even if they do it, it should be a habit you don't. This industry, for a lot of us, is very hard to separate. This should be a habit, not because you didn't know she didn't know. I understand and apologize for that. Again, worded myself wrong. If the mutual had met us under different names, that would be the circumstance, it would be okay. This is the otherwise and I was wrong. How the fuck does she word things, man? Again, she literally could not even say, I'm sorry, Said. Oh my god. This is like, literally, how hard is it for this person to say, Said, I am sorry, or I apologize to Said? No, look at this. She's clearly worming her way and avoiding that 3 words, that 3 or 4 words. She's just avoiding that by talking about something that's so irrelevant. I mean, yeah, good that you know that saying someone's real name is a bad thing, but you're not apologizing to Said. I don't see Said's name there, and I don't see the word I'm sorry next to it. We're not done yet, guys, because there's still more things that she decided to blurt out. Apparently, there's more sides to her story, and she decided to say it not publicly. She didn't tweet it out publicly. She decided to say it in a reply. In a freaking reply. Why the hell should we ask you to defend yourself? Defend yourself now. If you're complaining what Cedric said is untrue, then say it. Why do we have to ask you about it? Why do we have to question you? So apparently someone named General Butch wanted to hear her side of the story. And here it is. Thank you, GB. I made a post about it on my Twitter. It was poorly made, by the way. In order to summarize, this person is an ex-boyfriend of mine. Of course, we had our ups and downs, but since he has joined the NSF community, he has apparently been trying to plant seeds of deceit against other voice actors. And this is the first I've heard of this. You never said that in your posts. What the hell is plant seeds of deceit amongst other VAs? In his post, he make it seem like there was no point I was supportive for him. That is a huge lie. I was the one who recommended he started Not Safe for Work Tumblr for his equestrian artwork. I recommended he started taking commissions. I told him to get a driver's license. Okay? That's not the point he was trying to make in the entire story. The post that he made was that you were very bad. First off, that's not even being supportive. You're just telling him to do things. And again, you're not addressing the other stuff that he made. There are more stuff that he said in his post that's way worse than you not being supportive of him. Why aren't you addressing that? He replied, did you send a message to a random? That's what I want to know. But she completely ignores that. She didn't even reply to the dude and decided to go on a rambling, irrelevant preach here where she's saying, oh, I was also good, you know. But you know what, let's just read it anyways. I was the one who helped him get a job at McDonald's, and I was very disappointed when he quit that job. Again, it was a toxic environment, so he didn't want to be there. But I supported him and let him know that he needs to double time with his commissions as he did. Okay, it kind of sounds like you're just bossing him around because he quit McDonald's. I don't think that's a good thing. He was able to collaborate with a YouTuber who will not be named. They became very close friends, and there were certain times he would say things to her without realizing it was a bit too private to be shared. I would get upset when he told me about these things, and we both would move on. I don't get that. I mean, if he says something a little bit too private, then I guess that's something you can get upset about. But judging from Sed's post, he doesn't even know what you were mad at him for. I feel like there's a lack of communication in your relationship. As you can imagine, however, those things build up. We were no longer in a relationship together, but I still wanted to visit my friend. I went to visit him in Texas. I took a plane and got myself a motel. We had a wonderful time. When did you say that? I don't remember that in Sed's story, but okay. Also, these are new informations that you did not say in your previous posts. Why now? The YouTuber who will not be named insisted that since I didn't show him physical affection, kissing him, cuddling him, having sex with him, I didn't actually love him. Let me reiterate with you, I had told him I didn't want to be in a relationship with him before going out there. Who the fuck thinks like that, man? What the fuck? And clearly we know who this person is. Obviously, this is a female. It's a YouTuber who will not be named. This is clearly Jane. We can tell because, one, MacStar doesn't really like Jane that much. But once he told her I wasn't physically intimate with him, he started to have doubts about our friendship in general. I was upset that he let somebody that he hardly knew into his ear like that, and I started to drift away from him. About 4 months, I decided to try my hands on a Twitter voice acting. It was a life changer, and I was able to use that as my full-time job. I'm just so much happier now. Not long after, I've noticed he joined the community and was trying to get my attention through DMs. And JB replied, "Do you have proof?" Which again, she deliberately ignored because, you know, she has no proof of that. Because whatever is coming out from her words is fucking bullshit. And if she ever tries to pull some kind of fake shit, don't worry, I can just ask Sed to pull up his DMs to prove that she is lying. I ignored him and eventually blocked him. I moved on from that relationship and I didn't want to be involved with him anymore. He has apparently not moved on and is holding a vendetta against me. I was unaware of all this false information he was spreading. Again, which part of the information that he said is false? You did not address anything here that he said is false. In fact, you said nothing. The fact that you avoided GB's question just proves that you're guilty about something. Now, it could be true. She could have private messaged him. And also, I ignored him and eventually blocked him and moved on from his relationship. Total fucking bullshit. Again, there's a screenshot of this where you literally told somebody Sed's real name and you brought the fact that he's making you uncomfortable. Are you sure? Are you sure you moved on? Because I don't think so. So anyways, I'm gonna end the video here. I think I've said enough of this horrible person. MacStar VA is just a horrible person in general. Not to mention that she has not yet apologized to Sed for doxing him. The fact that she has not addressed any of the claims that Sed made and literally just said, hey, if you believe what he says, then that's up to you. And clearly it's really affecting her because she's not defending herself. Saying that is not a smart thing to do, MacStar. Like I said in the beginning of the video, do not go after MacStar. I do not condone anyone to spam and harass her. That's like the last thing I want you to do. Right now, I just want you to go and support Sed. Go give him some love. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you to go and support the dude because he's been through a lot and he's just a very nice person. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, thumbs the like button to death. Become a Parker today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's not a picture. My light on Petty will calm her down, but actually she just doesn't want the light to be on her face the entire time. Well, too bad, because this is what we're gonna be doing the entire time. Oh God!